So, welcome. Thank you for coming. I want to first start off by giving 2 disclaimers. I'm not an attorney. I may at times sound like one, but I'm not, okay? I have to say that. Everything that I'm going to say here is my credit expert opinion. 10 and a half, 11 years doing this, and then some years before, but officially working for a company doing this and being FICO certified, okay? So I'm not an attorney, so all my advice is my opinion, my credit expert opinion. Now, does anyone have a challenge with me recording this event? Because I want to make sure everything I've said here is recorded, so any promises I make to you or any promises I don't make to you will be on recording. Any problems with recording? Okay, excellent. This is a guarantee. I want to tell you the end before we start. Virtually, all of our clients receive these results. And the good thing about me is I prefer not to say this. I prefer to prove it. Too much of this. Too much talking. Show me the results. Okay? 90 points in 90 days. That's on the low end. It's on the low end. All right? Under promise, over deliver. Or 50% to 90% deletions of all negative accounts on all 3 bureaus, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, in 120 days. All right? Okay. That's the guarantee that potentially all of our clients receive. The law requires me to say the word potentially. Okay? Whenever you hear someone say potentially, that is legal language. All right? That's legal language, right? Okay, I want to make sure we understand. Okay, listen to this. This is what the people say. This is not me.
Gabriel, I find this hard to believe. You can take someone who's got poor credit and potentially, not potentially, that's what I want to believe, but I've seen the proof. You take their credit score and raise it 10 to 50 points.
It feels really good. My scores have never been this high.
My credit score has increased 136 points.
They also raised my credit score about 100 points.
I came in here with probably 400 credit scores. It was awful, but right now I'm in the low 700s.
And this is not over a long period. That's amazing.
I was able to buy my house, and my credit score was 754.
The help that Vivix provided, I was very satisfied.
I feel that you guys are excellent. Anybody that have problem with credit, they should come and see you guys.
Where do I go to learn more about your systems?
You can go to our website where I have some free gifts there, value of about $500, and a downloadable credit education guide.
Wow. Thank you.
That gentleman there in that video is my mentor. That's Joel Butter. He's helped me write 3 books. He's helped me put together these events to stand before you all, these workshops, to give my time, and for free, to help you. I'm going to give you a lot of things today that are going to help you fix your own credit without signing up with us. I'm just going to give it away to you, all right? 11 years standing here in this office. I was homeless when I started working here. I'm going to tell you about that. I don't want to get choked up too early. All right? Let's talk about the credentials of the company. That's important. There's a lot of fly-by-night companies here. Sad to say, Las Vegas has a lot of smoking mirrors, not only on the Strip, but on Sahara, Desert Inn, Tropicana, Flamingo, smoking mirrors. You must make sure any company you deal with, sir, is licensed and bonded. Okay, licensed and bonded. There's a lot of companies that have license, but they've lost their bonds. And the only way to find out who has a license and a bond is to go to the Mortgage Lending Division, their website, the MLD. Do not go to Clark County Business License Search or North Las Vegas Business License Search or City of Las Vegas Business License Search. Why? Because you'll find licenses there, but you won't find bonds. What's the difference? Many of us have been on the road with someone that has a driver's license but no insurance. The bond is the insurance. You don't know they don't have insurance until they crash into you and they pull out a driver's license that's legit, but they don't have any insurance to pay for your injuries or your car. Now you got to go against UM, uninsured motorist right? So some of these companies have lost their bond, and it's taken the state time to catch up with them to revoke their license. All right, this is our credentials. That's our license. Every credit service organization in the state that has a license to do credit repair ends in .255. That's a credit bureau license. We're not a credit bureau, but we have a credit bureau license, okay? We're bonded and registered with the Mortgage Lending Division. Everyone in our office is FICO certified. That's a certification that we take through FICO to say that we understand the FICO model, all right? Because the FICO model changes, and we all have our certifications. Mine is here, okay? I've been certified since 2012. We're a member of the National Association of Credit Service Organizations. I'm really proud of that. That organization is a group of attorneys that are vowed to run out of business all of the credit repair companies that are not rendering good services. And they're strong. They're lobbying in Washington. And to be a member of that organization means you've been reviewed, searched out, investigated for at least 6 months. And they find that everything is in good standings, and they allow you to use their badge. Members of the National Association of Credit Service Organizations. We're accredited with the Better Business Bureau, A+ rating. We've had 4 complaints in 11 years. I'm sure if I go back to some of your hometowns, I'll find 4 people that don't like you, right? But 4 people in 11 years complained about us after they brought their issues to us. And 3 of the people were people that canceled that said they didn't get their money credited back to their account quick enough. They came in and swiped their cards. We gave them a refund invoice. They signed the refund receipt. They left. But they said somehow the money didn't get in their account fast enough. So they complained. That's something that's out of our hands. That's merchant banking. Okay? We're a member of the Ethical Credit Repair Alliance. We're endorsed by the Greater Las Vegas Association of Realtors since 2011. We've helped so many realtors repair their credit and their clients that they actually went to their the brass of their organization and said, hey, we need to put this company on our website. And we're on their website. We do financial literacy workshops in Clark County school districts. We teach the babies. I actually go there to the school and teach the babies. Nobody taught me about credit, right? You can get a credit card at 18 on your way to college. You don't know anything about it, right? So I teach the kids. And we give all the people that work for the school district 10% off of the program, all right? And we're also a member of the Las Vegas Chamber of Commerce, okay? These are some of my credentials. My degrees are not there. I have a degree in finance, but this is more, this means more to me than any education that I got before I came here, because that book, From Homeless to Black Cards, when I started working here, I was homeless. I was living in the park on 215 in Town Center. And I moved from the East Coast to reset my life. My father's a pastor, my grandfather's a pastor. My father worked at a grocery store bagging groceries for 18 years until multiple sclerosis took him down. And he couldn't work anymore. He worked in a suit and tie, just like I am right now. And I always thought my dad was, some big shot at the grocery store until I got old enough to visit him. And he was standing behind a conveyor belt bagging groceries in a suit. So my father told me, a gentleman has no weather, because I asked him, why do you have to have on a suit to go bag groceries? And he said, a gentleman has no weather. And so I've always been suited and booted, all right? So I thought that I was going to be a manager of a grocery store when I was coming up. I said, you know what? I want to go one step higher than my dad went. And so that's why I went to school. My trajectory was changed because my mom started cleaning houses when multiple sclerosis took my dad, down and put him in a wheelchair. My mom started cleaning houses for a living. And she cleaned the houses of 2 doctors and 1 lawyer. And as she would take me with her, because I was her youngest, she would take me with her to clean houses. And the attorneys and the doctors would always take me into their libraries and ask me, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I always said, I want to be a manager of a grocery store. And they said, no, sure you can do better than that. Sure you can do better than that. And I said, well, no, that's what I want to be. I didn't know any better. And visiting them in 10, 12,000 square foot houses, some on the beach, some in the city. all sorts of fancy cars, libraries, 2 living rooms, 7 bathrooms, 9 bedrooms. And I'm watching these gentlemen make money, and I'm going back home to a house about the size of this boardroom. My mom and my dad and 3 of my brothers were staying in about 600 square feet. Concrete on our feet, under our feet, and cinder block walls. It was the projects. So after spending a little time with those gentlemen and talking with them about my trajectory, changing my sights, I started going back to the project saying I want to be a doctor, depending on what I ran across, where I want to be a lawyer. And it changed me. Watching their young kids that were my age go off to college, it inspired me. So I was the first in my family to graduate from college. I became the student government president. You know, I really tried to step it up. Okay? So when I moved out here, it's because, you know, I wanted to reset, change my life. I didn't have a plan. I was doing well. I was living on the East Coast on Wisconsin Avenue in a penthouse, driving a brand new Mercedes, brand new Range Rover. I was doing promotion business. And when my father died and my grandfather died, they thought I was going to be a pastor. And something happened to me one night. I just didn't want to be out in the promotion business anymore. I was making about 15 grand a night. And I ended up, I don't want to relish on this, but I ended up walking away from that money and hiding out in my penthouse for 4.5 years, trying to reinvent myself till I ran out of money. They kicked me out and lost everything I owned. I was out on Wisconsin Avenue walking. I had about $500,000 worth of furniture in my house. Some of the high-end stuff. All my suits, everything I owned, I lost. I ended up moving to Vegas with nothing but a pair of jeans and a shirt and a one-way ticket here. Thought I was going to bounce back. I didn't. So I ended up being homeless, living in the park. So after being here 10 years, let's speed up. After being here 10 years with this company, I wrote this book reviewing all of the questions that have been asked to me by all of our clients and prospects. It drilled down to 46 questions that I've been asked over and over and over, frequently asked questions. So I answered all those questions in that book and called it From Homeless to Black Cards, because I went from being homeless to having black cards in my pocket. I have 2 black cards in my pocket right now. And that's important, okay? Because if you're gonna do something, be an example of what you do, not a good conversation about it, be an example of it, okay? The second book, Creating Customers for Life, I wrote that book because a lot of entrepreneurs come here and their businesses are struggling and they're going down as a result. And I thought that I would give back because I was a pretty good marketer, okay? I was a pretty good marketer, right? And that book, Creating Customers for Life, I would give to all those entrepreneurs that would come here, okay? That DVD over there, that's my business card. That's what I give when I go out and I promote this company and promote what I do. I give that out as my business card. This book here, I actually didn't write it. Discredit to 80 Plus Credit. Books now are being spoken. You don't write them, you speak them. So you have an event like this, if you can do 4 hours of an event like this twice, you end up with a book if you get it transcribed. Okay, so that book, Discredit to 80 Plus Credit, that's something that I felt in my spirit when I had bad credit. I walked around, I felt like I was discredited. Felt like there was just a black cloud over me. Okay? All right. I too had bad credit, so don't think that I'm here because I'm not an example of where you are or where your friends or families are right now. These are some of the credit cards I took down when I moved to Vegas. I had the Gold American Express, the green, I had Capital Ones, I had Platinum Bank of Americas, I had Chevy Chase, SunTrust, Neiman Marcus, Nordstrom's, Bloomingdale's, Circuit City, Shell, Zales, and I had about another 20 more cards. I had about 45 credit cards. Yes, ma'am, I was born poor, and I wanted everything they said yes to. Everything they said yes, I wanted it. Okay, if they had a car wash card, I wanted it. Okay? All right, so I flew into this town with 49 negative accounts on my credit report. 2 evictions, 2 repossessions, child support, because when you have a baby, you got to take care of them. And I had child support because the 4.5 years I was trying to reinvent myself, I was losing everything. So I didn't have any money. So I had a lot of bad credit, including all these credit cards. This is what my credit score was. I was a 486 score when I dropped into Vegas in 2005. The highest score was from 300 to 850. I was a 486. After starting to work here, I was here for about a year. And I was very prideful. I'm a Taurus. And I didn't want to show anyone that I had bad credit. Come on in, come on in. Have a seat, have a seat. I didn't want to tell anyone that I had bad credit. So I was working here with bad credit and became the #1 influencer. I'm not a salesman. I'm an influencer, okay? I don't sell you anything. Adults make a decision to buy. People influence them to make the decision sooner or later, all right? So I don't sell. I'm not a closer. I'm an influencer. So I was walking around here for a year with a 486 credit score, right? And the thing that changed my life was when I went over to Mercedes to try to buy a car with $27,000. I had 3 $9,000 cashier's checks on New Year's Eve, December 31st, 2007. I have all the proof of this. And they turned me away. They told me, Mr. Credit Man. And the gentleman over there that gave me my credit reports, which they don't supposed to, so I'm not going to say his name, he said, when you get everything I've highlighted on this report removed, come back and buy a car. And I felt embarrassed. That's when I realized you got to be authentic to what you do. You have to live what you do, not just talk it. So I came here and I got into the credit repair program that I had been influencing people to buy for almost 15 months. And do you know, that was the changer, the life changer for me, because now people really felt me when I talked to them about credit repair, because I was a testimony, a living testimony. And now I didn't have to appear to be selling. I just told them my story. This is how bad my credit was. Look at it now. And they, I'm somewhere in between where you are. This works. Okay, let's do it. So I had a 486. After I got out of the program, I was so excited. I sat on the couch and cried when I got my first results. I have it over there. You can look behind there. That stack, that's all my credit. I kept it all for everyone to see. All the negative accounts and all the deletion letters. I got a record of it all. When I got my first results, I got 72% deleted off my TransUnion credit report. Both of my repossessions, my eviction, and my child support. Wow. I was living with 4 young men that were like less than 20 years old over in North Las Vegas, 6448 Bruce Street. And I didn't know they were selling, things that young people like. They had some herbs over there that had surround sound on it. I could smell it from on my way home and leaving the house, right? So I was so excited that I was going to be able to move out of the house from those 4 young men. So my score popped up to 715, then went to 745, and then through the training that I got here, through how to rebuild your credit, added on some new credit with all the negative that we took off, 810, 843, 816. I've been at 800 since 2009. 2009, I've got 800 credit scores. So I went from a 400 to 800. So I can get anything I want. Those 2 cars that you see out there, the Porsche and the Range Rover, right? Some people don't like cars. But hey, I like them. The Porsche is mine. The Porsche is mine. The Range Rover is the office manager, right? I told you I had black cars. I do. There they are. The cars themselves are worth $750 if I go pawn them. So it's $1,500 just for the metal. It's carbon fiber. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It's carbon fiber. So I'm here to tell you that it worked for me. 800 credit scores is a good feeling. Now, this is the actual reports. I tell you, I want to prove it to you. I don't want to just tell you. That's my Equifax. The program back then was 180 days. Now it's 120. This is my experience. Okay? And then here's my TransUnion. All right? So I got all the proof. Okay? And now that we're talking about proof, we have more proof than anybody in the business. We have more proof than anybody in the business. Okay? These proof books here, we have one in every office. And then behind you, there's stacks of them. There's about maybe 6, 8, 9, and then there's 6 that I just got tired of making. I'm tired of doing the proof. Okay? I have a room that we have boxes where you get 10 rings of paper in a box. We have a room with just all proof in about 15 or 20 boxes like that. Nobody can show as much proof. It's overkill. right? Okay? So now let's get into some of the meat. Fraud alerts. Does anyone know that the FBI says number one crime in America is identity theft? Identity theft. People can steal your identity now with just a blink of an eye. And guess what? It's harder for you to prove that you're not you or not the person that is pretending to be you than it is for you to be you. I don't think I can say that twice. Okay? That was pretty good, right? That's pretty good. We're gonna have to review the tape. All right? So identity theft is the number one crime, not because I'm saying it, but because it's on every credit report that I review. At the bottom, it says FBI, says identity theft is the number one crime in America. Okay? Now, all of you that are not using your credit, it's easy to prevent identity theft. All you have to do is put a fraud alert on your file. That's it. That's a 1-800 call. Call each of the credit bureaus, or if you just call one, they'll let the other two know. But if you want to be sure, just call all three. It's an 800 number. We're going to give you all those numbers when you leave here. You can put a 90-day fraud alert or a 7-year fraud alert. And you can even have it with a PIN number, where if you want to access your file to get credit, you give the creditor your PIN number, and it'll open your file up. But guess what? The fraud alert will prevent you. If you don't put the PIN number on it, it will prevent you from accessing your own file. That's how strong it is, okay? I think that many of us don't understand is you should have fraud alerts on your children's files. If they're less than 18 years old, they are vulnerable to identity theft. Some of your kids don't pull their credit until they get 18. And you have someone living in their names for 15 years, 16 years, and you never knew. Okay? And that could ruin your child's life or the beginning of it. Add the fraud alert to your children's credit reports. And if you're in the service, active duty, don't leave the country without adding a fraud alert. Okay? And did you know that active duty members of service, when they go overseas or when they go anywhere to fight for the country, any negative credit that's put on their file while they're away has to be cleaned and removed. It's a part of the law. Did you know that? Yeah, a lot of people walking around here that were fighting for our country came back with bad credit. They don't have to endure that, okay? So the fraud alert is important. It also requires that the creditors go through a deeper level of review of the documents of the person that's applying for credit. So that will help you, okay? These are the companies that have had security breaches. Experian, the IRS, Anthem, OPM, okay, Office of Personnel Management, Verizon, Wendy's, Blue Shield Blue Cross, Harvard University. I mean, can you imagine how smart those people are over at Harvard, right? Or is it MIT that we should be? Well, either way, they're all smart, okay? How could they be hacked? Army National Guard, Target, Home Depot, FBI, Trump Hotel, Sands, CVS, Walgreens, UCLA. If you've been shopping in these places, you're already vulnerable to identity theft, okay? Or at least any credit card information that you used, all right? And if you complete a credit card application. So you need to really consider these fraud alerts. All right, these are the 4 options. Let's talk about this because I don't want you to think that the credit repair is the only thing you can do. These are the 4 options for credit repair. The first one, just do nothing. Just do nothing for 7 to 10 years. And your credit will clean itself up. Yeah. 7 to 10 years from the last date of activity of all your accounts is when they should all fall off. Should. S-H-O-U-L-D, should. The creditors get paid a monthly fee. The credit bureaus get paid a monthly fee by each creditor. So they're not too swift in removing something from your credit because that means that subtracts from that monthly fee that they would get. So they kind of let it linger around as long as they can until you wake up. Okay? All right? The next thing is file bankruptcy. Everybody wants to file bankruptcy. That's not bad. But do you know you have to apply for bankruptcy? It should say apply for bankruptcy instead of filing. Because you just can't walk in now and say, hey, I want to file. If you make too much money, can you file? No. You still have to pay some money, right? You end up paying a trustee for 5 or 6 years. The third one is debt negotiation. If you didn't have the money to pay the bills before they went south, how many people do you think have the money after the fact? the debt negotiation, you do get a little discount because the average is 20 cents on the dollar, but most companies offer, collection companies offer 50 cents on the dollar. So let's say you have $10,000 in debt, you can negotiate it down to 5, but where you all make a mistake, or where most people make a mistake, is they don't do debt negotiation in exchange for a deletion letter. You call the company and you say, okay, I'm gonna pay you off, and that's it. Do you know that makes your credit worse? Because now you've refreshed that account to the date of last activity, to the date that you made that last payment to pay it off. So now, if it's a charge off or a collection, it's 7 more years on your report. So if it was 2 or 3 years old, now it's gonna stay on your credit report for another 7 years. So what you wanna do is call the creditor and say, hey, I'm in the process of bettering my life. I wanna buy a house, all right? I wanna negotiate this debt with you, reduce settlement amount. And if you will send me a letter of intent via email on my smartphone, I'm here with it now, saying that you intend to delete this in exchange for the payment, I will pay you on a credit card that I have right now with me. And you stay on the phone with them. When you get the letter, the email saying that they're going to delete in exchange for the payment, then you give them your credit card. Okay? That's how you do debt negotiation. All right? And then the fourth option is credit repair. Credit repair is the best option. Why? Because it's your legal rights. It's federal rights. It's your consumer credit file rights to dispute what's on your credit. Okay? No different than if you get a speeding ticket. Just because you sign the summons, right? Does that mean you're guilty? No. If it's 20 miles over, you probably want to get an attorney, right? So when you go there, the attorney's going to stand before the judge and it's going to be reduced to improper driving. Right? Okay? If you pay that speeding ticket or reckless driving ticket before you go to court and then you show up with the attorney, what are they going to say? No, you've already admitted guilt. You paid the ticket. You're not even on the docket anymore. So that's the same thing with credit repair. Why would you go out and pay all your debts without using the federal rights to dispute them to verify the amounts that they say you owe, right? Have you ever had a doctor bill for $120 and then all of a sudden, when it goes to collection, it's $380? And you remember it was $120, so you don't want to pay the $380. So you call the doctor to try to pay the $120, and guess what they say? Oh, we've transferred the file, right? And then you go, well, I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to pay the $120. I'm not going to pay the $380. Okay? So in order to get that $380 adjusted to not have you taken advantage of, you dispute it. These are 4 reasons you can dispute anyone: law firms, credit repair companies, and consumers. Get these. If any information on your credit report is proven to be inaccurate, whether you rightfully owe it or not, that could be a tax lien, a judgment, a foreclosure, child support, student loans, anything. If it can be proven to be inaccurately reported, it must be deleted. Okay? The second provision that helps you out of the 4 is if anything on your credit report is unverifiable, if they can't verify the debt, it must be deleted. Okay? If there's anything on your credit report that is questionable and you ask questions to the credit bureaus and they don't answer you in 30 days or less, it must be deleted from your credit report. Okay? And then the 4th and final, if anything on your credit report is older than the statute of limitation for the state that the debt originated in. Okay? These are the 4 tools that everyone uses to repair your credit. You can use those yourself. All you have to do is write the letters. Okay? Inaccurate, unverifiable, questionable, and obsolete. That's it. Anyone that's telling you it takes 12 to 18 to 24 months to work on your credit, they're misinforming you. The reason they're telling you that is because they want to work on your file for a longer or extended period to collect more money from you. $69, $79, $89 a month, these companies are charging. I'm asking this. Why would you charge me so little to change my life? Is there any surgery you can get on the planet for $49? $59, $69, $99. You can't even get a wart frozen and clipped off for $99. Credit affects your health. So they're one and the same to me. When I had challenged credit, I went to the emergency room 3 times thinking I was having a heart attack. They said, Mr. Brown, go home, you're having anxiety attacks. I was so happy, but I thought I was having heart attacks. My challenge credit affects my health, okay? So credit repair is the best way to go. In 120 days, over $200,000 was removed from my credit, legally, ethically, and it has not come back since. And I now have better credit and a higher credit score than 99% of your friends, okay? And I've had worse credit than all of you sitting here. All right, let's go. Okay, so remember we started 50 to 90% deletion in 120 days from all 3 bureaus. That's what our clients experience. I must say potentially. There's only 11 companies in the state of Nevada that have a physical office. There's about 72 companies on the internet. There's only 22 that have a license, 11 with a physical office, and 11 that have a foreign license registration from another state to do business in this state. All right? So what about the other 50 companies? So you're out shopping for good pricing, but you didn't verify if they were licensed and bonded. So you gave your information to a company that's not licensed, right? And did you know that your driver's license and your social security card, a copy of it on the black market is worth tens of thousands? So you can take thousands of people's driver's license and social security cards, copies, on a thumb drive, anywhere in the world, and put it in someone's hand that needs it to do harm and walk away with a briefcase of money. Be careful who you give your driver's license and social security cards to, okay? And none of the companies are a member of the National Association.
Yes, I was able to get a motorcycle loan, a student loan, and move on with my life.
From a 614 all the way to a 794. At 117 things on my credit, they were able to remove 89 of them.
I actually just got approved for a car.
72% of my collection items and wiped them from my accounts.
To have 70% of my negative accounts deleted.
249 points increase in
We have a 113-point increase.
And now they deleted 122, so that's like 90% of my bad credit.
85% of my credit to just that credit deleted. I was able to purchase a car and take a loan.
We were able to take 50% of all my inquiries and have them deleted.
Bankruptcies, charges off, a lot of negative stuff on that. They removed 80% of negative activity that was on my credit.
3 weeks with private credit, and my foreclosure has been deleted forever, and I'm so happy.
She had a foreclosure deleted in 3 weeks. Did you hear the gentleman that said he had 122 negative accounts and 89 were deleted? Amazing, okay? Other companies that charge you per deletion, anywhere from $55 to $85 per deletion. If he had 90 deletions and $85, it's about $8,500 to $9,000. We charge a flat fee for our services because we want everyone to use the services, okay? All right. The proof, we already talked about that. We have more proof than anyone in the business, and we show it. We all have to do credit ourselves, and we show the clients, and we have almost 300 video testimonials. In the back of our office, we actually have a studio where we take the clients when they're in the great state after they've seen the good results they've gotten. That's that window of opportunity to really get them to do a video testimony. Because most of the ladies say, oh no, I'm not, my hair's not right, my makeup's not right, right? But when you say, hey, what about the results you got? And you take them back there quickly, and they'll give you these testimonials. We have about 300 of those. So we're just showing you a snippet of them.
I just want to guys recommended Felix solution for credit repair. Very excited. I never believe I can have a score like 800. This is unbelievable, and I start with 500 something. Okay, please grab everything you can and come over here. You have a free consultation. Will be awesome. They can help you with everything.
She's from Russia. She was a gymnast, and she's been here for about 3 years, and she had really, really challenged credit. So she was happy to be at 800. She said she's never been at 800 before. I was a little upset because I don't like to be around a lot of people with 800 scores. I want to be the only one in the room with 800. Okay? All right. We talked about this. In 2006, it was 52 companies. Now it's 72 on the internet, and it's still only 22 that are licensed. Okay? Now that gentleman there that had really broad shoulders, and he was sitting with his wife, he said his credit was increased, his score was increased by 250 points, and his wife's at 150. That's darn near Pfizer. He used to play for the Bulls. He was a $100 million man. And he hurt himself and had to play in Europe for $1 million a year and lost everything because he was trying to take care of his entire family with all the millions. He bought everybody houses and cars. He was a good person. And then he tried to take care of them on $1 million a year income and ran himself in the ground. He couldn't do it. And when he came here, he was working at the BMW dealership selling cars, making $500 every 2 weeks draw. And he and his wife have 5 kids. Some, you know, when you get a lot of money, you have a lot of kids too. So I got him in the program. He said he couldn't even afford it. Got him in the program anyway. He's a pastor, and that broke me. That broke me down. I just love people that love the Lord. And so we fixed his credit, and he went to a 770. And he said he's going to tell everybody in the NBA. You know, and he's been telling all his friends. So we got quite a few, athletes that have been coming through and calling and getting their credit fixed. So that's exciting. All right. All right. Okay. So I just want to make sure that I show you what your consumer credit file rights are as well. Okay. You can do this yourself. The law says that. We're going to get into the strategies of repairing your credit. This is your consumer credit file rights, and this is the actual law. Okay. Make sure any credit repair company that you speak with shows you this. It's a crime to not show you this. Okay? Now let's get into it. There's only 3 strategies to repairing credit. First, you got to know how to review the report. That's it. If you can review the report, you can find the errors there and create your strategy to do the disputes. So the second is your dispute strategy. And the third is if you do it right, you end up reversing the curse of bad credit, because bad credit is a curse. It really is, okay? All right. This is one that I really don't like telling. Do you know that you can go to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau for any challenges you have on your credit that you're truly upset about and that you know are an issue that doesn't belong to you? All you have to do is file a Consumer Financial Protection Bureau complaint, and they'll resolve your issue in 15 days. 15 days. No credit repair company will tell you this. Okay? No credit repair company will tell you this. I'm even going to give you one more. Under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, USC, United States Code 1681. 1681. A through, let's just go through all the alphabets. A through Z is the only place that law firms and credit repair companies go to repair your credit. That's it. I just gave you the key. USC code 1681, A through Z. Any issue that you have with your credit, man, you go there and you pull the actual law that corresponds with your challenge. Late payment, tax lien, foreclosure, bankruptcy is there. Put it in a letter. State what you intend to happen, what you want to see happen, and then statement of fact. So you have a statement of fact, what happened. State the law. Statement of intent, I want to see this happen. All right? And then a summary. All right? Now, if you add this, if you do not do it, you're talking to the credit bureau. Never dispute to the creditor. Always dispute to the credit bureau. Your summary statement will be, if you do not take this action, I will file a complaint with the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Just gave it to you. If you guys got up and left right now, you know more than any other credit repair company will tell you in a lifetime. Okay? All right, let's go. You remember the 4 provisions: inaccurate, questionable, unverifiable, and obsolete. That's it. Okay? So you're going to attach with the section of the law, USC 1681. You're going to attach whether the information is inaccurate, questionable, unverifiable, or obsolete. For you, it's inaccurate. Okay? All right, let's review the credit reports. Let's just go through this really quickly because you got to understand. The first thing you want to do before you do a dispute, oh, I left my black cards here. You're so nice. Thank you. The first thing that you want to do when you're sending off your dispute is update your personal information. Why do you want to do that? Because if you Google your name, my name is Gabriel Brown. There's 272 Gabriel Browns on Facebook. Right? So there's 272 Gabriel Browns in the country. So that means some of their information could have migrated onto my file. So I want to update my personal information, 1, for that reason, and 2, because the creditors who are going to be responding to your dispute that you're going to send to the credit bureaus, they are going to try to match your current information as closely as possible to prove that you are the person that is indebted to them. All right? So some old systems, when you apply for credit, have middle name first, first name second, last name third. So that's how your file will put your name in. So on your credit report, when someone applies, your name goes into your credit file just as they put it in their system. So if they put your name in reverse, or put your middle name first, your first name middle, and your last name, that is who you are. That's an alternate identity. So when the creditor who's pursuing you, the collection company who's pursuing you, use that as you, that's not you. Your official name is the name on your Social Security card in the way it was written. So that's not you. That's the equivalent of a police officer looking for someone and finding them, but the warrant has the neighbor's address on it. Can they keep you locked up for that? No, because they have the warrant with the wrong address on it, even though they found the right person. So you are the right person, but the wrong personal information could cause your account to be deleted. It's inaccurate. Okay? So update your personal information: name, address, social security number, date of birth, current employer. Okay? Update that. And then put the fraud alert on it. Because now, when those unscrupulous creditors go to pull your credit to see what your updated information is to use it against you, your file will be blocked. So now you get a better chance. This one move alone will get you 30% deletion. Just this one move alone. And that's not credit repair. Okay? That's just updating your personal information. These companies that do credit repair on the internet for you can't do this. We do it all in writing, letters. Okay? They can't do this for you. That's why you don't get good results disputing on the internet. You have to do everything the old-fashioned way, in writing. Okay? Next. This is what your credit report will look like. This is an old antiquated report, but I like it because it's clean, it's easy to read. Okay, John Doe, your name, your date of birth, your social security number, co-applicant. And if you apply for anything with someone else, their name's going to be there. It doesn't have to be your wife. Okay? And then your address, your marital status, the length of time you've been at the address, do you own or rent, property, and dependents. Okay? The next section normally is your employment section. Okay? Employer, your position, start date, stop, income. Okay? It's important to update your employment information. If you've been promoted to the VP or to a manager, and the last time you pulled your credit pulled, you were, just a stockroom worker or whatever, right? When you go to fill out an application and you say you're the manager, those people that are taking in your application, that vendor is looking at you as if you're misrepresenting what you really are, okay? Because they take your credit report to be the truth, not what you wrote on the application. So update your personal information and your employment status, okay? All right. Next is additional addresses. You always want to have 2 addresses. Okay? You want to have your current address and your previous address. That's important because creditors want to know that you're not skipping town. Where were you before? Were you out of state? Were you in state? That impacts how much credit they give you. Okay? They want someone that's been around in the area for a longer period of time. They'll give you more credit. Okay? All right. Now, these are the two different types of accounts. We're going to get into the meat of it, but I got to go through some of these basics. Revolving credit lines are bank cards like credit cards, not charge cards. An American Express is a charge card, it's not a credit card. Okay? Revolving cards, okay, where you have an interest rate, all right, and you pay on it until you pay it off. And that could be years if you keep making minimal payments. But a charge card is you have an interest rate, all right, but you have to pay the card off in 30 days mostly. Okay, American Express, you pay it in 30 days, all right? Department store cards, okay, we know what those are: Neiman Marcus, Saks, Nordstrom, Macy's, Saks, Target, Walmart. Gas cards, all those are revolving. The installment ones normally carry a little bit more weight when your FICO score is involved, okay? An auto loan has a little bit more weight than a credit card because a bank loaned you some money, all right? And the credit card is the bank basically is charging you interest for, digital money, okay? A student loan, that's an installment, okay? Mortgages, all right? The installments just have a start date and an end date and an interest across the entire loan, okay? But they have an end date. Personal loans, where you walk in and borrow some money directly from the bank, and then the charge cards, which are the American Express, all right? There's some others, but I like to just talk about the American Express one. Now, this is where you will see your trade lines. The creditor, the account number, okay? That's Wachovia. There's no Wachovias, right? They're out of business. Okay? And then you got a date reported, 9/2009. DLA, this is where the statute of limitations starts, from that date of last activity. All right? That's where the statute of limitations starts, not from the date that you opened the account, but the date that you made your last payment or the last time that you contacted the creditor to discuss a payment arrangement. That's your DLA, your date of last activity. Your date open, April 2008. High credit. Credit limit. So the high credit is the $1,243. That's the highest you've used on that account since you've had it. And then the credit limit is the $9,000. Okay? Balance owing. All right? $254, $3,500. Okay? Terms, account type. So this is a revolving account. So that's an R. Normally they just show an R. Okay? They don't say REV. And then you have the number of months. Okay? 20 months. Okay? Current. Oh. Ones, you want to have all ones. Okay, that means your accounts have been current. You've been paying them on time. If you have a 2, you've been 60 days late. A 3, 90 days late. A 4, 120 days late. Okay? All right? The number of months the account has been open, 17, 16, 52. Okay? And then the time past due. Zeros are there if you've never been. And in many cases, if you've never been, it'll just say you're in good state, you're wrong. Okay? All right, past due or last past due. Okay? None of that. You don't want to have any past due. Public records and collections are in a separate area of the credit report as well. Public records are anything you went to court for. A judgment, a tax lien, bankruptcy, foreclosure. Okay? Those are public records. Okay? They normally stay on your credit for 10 years. Okay? So that's where you will find the public records. Okay. Inquiries. How long should an inquiry stay in your credit report? Anybody? Anyone else? 2 years.
7.
Okay, we got 2, we got 7.
It says 2 up there.
Okay, 2. All right. Okay, how many years? 2 years? How about you? 2 years? Really? Why do you say 2?
1 year.
It says up to 2 years. You see how we start looking at the prepositions? If I tell you I'm going to give you up to $5,000 off, how much am I going to give you off? Right? You don't know until you get to where I'm at. Okay? So you quickly went to the 2 years. That's what's happening with most credit repair companies that are working on your credit. They went to the same thing. Oh, it's 2 years. Have you ever heard anyone tell you it's up to 2 years? No. I was ever told you that. Okay? And I put it right there in front of you. Yes or no? Okay, it's up to 2 years. And that's why we're the only credit repair company in the state of Nevada that works on inquiries. No one else wants to work on them. They say, oh, it's too hard, it's too tough, it's too much work. No, it's not. It's up to 2 years. Just Just ask the credit bureau, what is up to? How far do I have to go? They'll say 2 years. No, that's not true. Up to. Okay, that's how you get those deleted. Just gave you another one. Okay, you need to be writing these down. Okay, you got a photographic memory. All right, no worries. Okay, so this is where you'll find some alerts on your credit report if you have any challenges where your social security number's off, if someone else is using your social. Okay, you know, if you're using someone else's social. If you have any challenges with the government, they'll put your information here. You know, if they feel that you're a threat to the country or something, when you go to that safe scan, it'll show up right there. Okay, and then the inquiries. That's the last portion of the report. Okay, you can have a seat here if you're like, oh, good, you're fine there. Excellent, excellent. Okay, all right. The credit scores. Which one is mostly used by banks? FICO? How do you know?
Says so.
Says up there? Okay.
Does it depend on where you're at? Like, West Coast use TransUnion, East Coast use.
Yeah, it can depend on where you're at too, because some companies prefer different bureaus. All right, but the most widely used is FICO, and it goes from 300 to 850. All right, that's the score that the banks are using. You want to make sure that you focus on your FICO score. Don't worry about all the others. Worry about what the banks use. Okay, the banks don't use TransUnion to sell you a house or a car, so don't worry about it. Okay. You want all three scores to be good, but you want to focus on your FICO. All right? This is how your FICO score breaks down. This is what FICO says you need to focus on when you're trying to get your score to 800. 35% of your score is payment history. Pay on time. If you miss one payment, it's almost like having a soft bankruptcy. A late payment will impact your score 75 to 110 points. One late payment. Okay, pay on time. You got to do that. And then keep your balances low. 30% of your score is based on how much you owe. How low should you keep your balance of your credit limit? If you have a $1,000 limit, how low should you keep your balance?
30%.
About 30? Okay, 30, 25. Anybody else? 20. Keep it under 20%. Okay? That is the credit usage rule. Now there's a credit capacity rule. If you have 10 cards, how many should you be using at the same time? You have 10 credit cards. How many should you be using at the same time?
1.
All of them. 1. Okay, all. Anything else? 4. Okay. 20%. 20%. 2 of the cards. 20%. Now, all is important because what he's saying is you have to have activity on all of them to keep them open, or they will reduce your limits. I'm for the 20% and I'm for the all. Now, let me tell you how you use the all. That's important. He said that. He's advanced at how credit works. Now, let me tell you what he's saying. I have 47 credit cards. I only use 2, my Black Card and my Platinum American Express. Right? So the Platinum American Express, I pay off every month. On a Black Card, I get a good rate, and I just like the way it makes me feel when I pull it out. Okay? Now, when I get a limit on my American Express card that I don't want to pay, I transfer the limit to another card that I don't want to use. Why? Because if I keep those other 45 cards open with no balances and never use them, those banks will start to take that money and ship it to other clients. Okay? So if I have to pay the American Express off anyway, what I do is I'll buy what I'm going to buy on it and I'll ship it to my Chase Sapphire card. And then Chase will send me the bill. I get another 30 days because their cycle is 30 days. And then I pay them off what I was going to pay American Express anyway. Right? Then I go back to my American Express, use it again. Right? Then I take, all right, dispute strategy number 2. Here we go. These are the items that our company has successfully worked on time and time again. But we cannot guarantee the result. So virtually everyone has seen these results. All right? Bankruptcy removal, foreclosure removal, short sale removal, late payment removal, collections removal. All of this, judgment removal, student loan removal, repossession, tax lien, inquiry removal, identity theft, okay, check systems, early warning. Anyone know what early warning is? Early warning system? That's another check system when you write a check that is not, it's not good. Early warning system is one of those databases that keep records of people that wrote bad checks. Okay, check system is most well known, but early warning system is another. Okay. All right, now these are the codes that you must pay attention to. If you review your credit and you don't understand these codes, you're not sure when there's inaccurate information. All right. On an account with Experian, if you pay it on time, it'll say okay across the entire trade line. All right. If you're 30 days late, in between those okays, you'll see a 30. That means you were late that month. If you see a 60, you were 60 days. If you see a 90, and so on. Okay, CRD, creditor received D, so that's like a foreclosure. That's an antiquated record there, so I don't think they use CRD anymore. FS is foreclosure, proceeding, and F is foreclosed. VS is voluntary repossession. That's when you turn in your car that you don't want to pay anymore. All right, R is repossession. PBC, paid by creditor. IC, insurance claim. G, claim filed with government. D, default. C, collection. CO, charge off. You'll see more C's and COs and CLS, which is closed. And ND, no data. When does that happen? When is there no data on an account? When have you ever seen no data on your account?
Maybe if they can't verify information.
Okay, that's one.
After the statute of limitation.
Okay, no data is when the account is very fresh, it's very new. It shows up on the report, but it has no data yet because you haven't done anything. All right? So that's when you're going to see no data. All right? TransUnion, these are their codes. NR, not reported. Okay? When do you see NR? Mostly on bankruptcies. Because once you file bankruptcy, they're not supposed to report anymore the activity. Okay? So that's when you will receive that. All right? X is unknown. I don't think I've ever seen an X. Okay? OK is current, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, so on. And COL, collection, VS, voluntary surrender, repossession, okay? And then you have collection, charge off, and foreclosure. All right? Hang in there, hang in there. This is for Equifax. All right? 1 is for 30 to 59 days. 2 is for 60 to 89, and it goes all the way down to G-band collection. So if you're trying to figure out these 3 reports, some have C's and G's and RP's, you're going to get confused, right? So you're not sure what to do. So you need to know these codes. And then those 2-digit codes are different from these. Those 2-digit codes are from an e-Oscar machine. Did you know how your creditor actually reports to the credit bureau about you? Is it through a letter or a phone call? No. It's through a little machine called e-Oscar, and it's done through a text message, electronic message, yeah. And so when you're late, they can go right in and update that machine, okay? Normally it's done automatically, but the reason I say they can go in right away and update it is because just when they find out that something's inaccurate on your report, they can go in and update it immediately. But why did they tell you 30 to 45 days to get it done? I got a letter from Bank of America. I had a gentleman that was in Brazil in a coffee shop with his girlfriend, and he bought a latte for her and one for himself. And then he went back to try to buy a pastry. But by that time, Bank of America texted me saying, "Are you in Brazil?" And I text back, no. And so they blocked the card, and they forgot to take it off of my credit, even though they sent me a letter. They said it would be removed in 30 to 45 days. They forgot to take it off my credit, and I got a 30-day late for a purchase that they knew I didn't make because I wasn't in Brazil. So when I finally threatened them with the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, they said 30 more days to take it off. So for 75 days, 75 days it was on my credit report, a late payment. And I lost weight that month. I lost weight, my credit is my life. I have to be able to show and prove I have better credit than anyone in the room. Okay, I live this. My black card did that for me. I used to walk around with all those papers to say how bad my credit was, and then I had to have an updated credit report. See, I know I have better credit than you. Now I just pull out my black card. You have one of these? Nobody ever has that. Okay? Yes, I'm sorry. Okay, so statute of limitations. This is important. You think every negative account, wake up. You think every negative account stays on your report for 7 years. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. That's the only question I can ask you, and everybody in the room knows for 7 years. 7 years. That ain't true. That ain't true. Alabama, 3 years. So there's some people walking around that had debt created in Alabama that was 3 years old and they no longer owe it. I'll give you a copy of this. I think it's in your, yeah, I made it for you. It's a copy there, so don't get all struck by that. You don't have to write it down, man. It's in your pamphlet. Yeah, yes, yeah, you're fine, okay? All right, so the state of Nevada is 6 years. 4 years for open accounts, 6 years for written contracts. Okay? So know the statute of limitations. Know them. Remember we talked about that? Yeah, know it. Okay? All right, reverse the curse of bad credit. Here we go. This is why you want to have good credit. More family time. All right? This is my mom with her gangster in the front with her hand in her pocket with her head tilted to the side. She's 74 years old right there. Look, she's 40. Okay? Benefits of good credit is a dream home. That's my living room. That's not from the movie Al Pacino. That's my living room. Okay? I'm proud of that. My mom, when she first walked in my house, she instantly wanted to know where all the cleaning stuff was, because that's the kind of house that she was cleaning. I said, no, Mom, we live here. We live here. She thought I was visiting. She thought I was taking her on a tour. No, that's what good credit does. Vacation, that's Dubai. I went to Dubai. Went on points with American Express, sitting in Dubai. I ain't paid a dollar.
So you didn't pay?
I didn't pay anything. I was in Dubai with American Express points. And got a few perks while I was there too, because my black card had some connections with some things that I could go do. Because you know, all these high-end cars have little perks where if you go over there, tell them this. If you go over here, tell them we sent you. They really like that kind of stuff. Okay? I got to sit in the Centurion Lounge, you know, out of the country in the lounge. That was really good. You know, you meet a lot of affluent people there. Okay? And then I had a few dream cars. You know, I had a bucket list of cars I wanted. And that was, yeah, I think so. That's an Italian car.
I know.
Yeah. I had a young lady who reminded me a lot of you. She sat in a consultation with me, and she was the editor of Black Image magazine. I didn't know it. I told her my story, but I was homeless and all that. And she put me in the magazine. So that's from the magazine. Mm-hmm. And this is something I'm proud of. That's my baby. That's my daughter. It's not my girlfriend. It's my daughter. Okay. Yeah, she's graduating from college there that I financed with a credit card. She had a scholarship for everything except room and board. But because she and her mother didn't get along as well, so I don't know, at a certain age, girls don't get along with their mother. She just happens. I don't know how it happened. It wasn't a fight. I always tried to figure it out with her. She said, no, we just don't get along. She never put her finger on what the issue was. But anyway, she wanted to stay on campus. So I had to pay $6,000 a semester when her mother only lived 20 minutes away. And then she would go and have dinner with her mother and drive back to campus. Because she didn't want to have food in her dorm. So they became better friends when I started paying $6,000 a semester. They would hang out, I would call her room, her mother would be in the room spending the night. Right? So I paid for all that on my Navy Federal Credit Union card. Every semester they charged me $6,000 and it never bounced. Okay? I financed some of her dreams. She thought she was going to be a model. That's her doing, you know, a pose or modeling shoot or whatever. That cost me a lot of money too. Okay, I paid for that on my credit card. Yep, paid for that on Wells Fargo. All right.
You need the black card just to pay for those shoes.
Yes, you know, I don't even know if it's her. I don't know if they're part of the shoot, but this one where she's looking over her shoulder, you know. And I'm there with the little dress on. That was kind of cute. And then she's at an event there showing she got all the poses. She knows how to turn her body, make herself look even thinner than she is. Okay. And this is my mother and my daughter in Florida. I sent them to Disney World. My daughter thought for some reason before my mother leaves this earth, she should go to Disney World, like 70-something years old. It was really for her. And so that's them at a little bungalow I rented for them in Florida. Okay, my daughter's taking that picture. All right. Now, we're almost done here. The 10X rule, many of us don't understand it. Many of us are trading hours for dollars. This is the part, we're almost done. This is the part that really changed my life. Because as you get seasoned and aged, you don't feel as much like working. You really don't. And when you continue to trade hours for dollars as you get older, there comes a time where you hit your peak where you just can't do 40 hours anymore. You can't do 30. And if you cut back from 40 to 30 to 25, it really impacts your income and your lifestyle. Credit gives you the 10X factor. You're able to have 10 times the amount of credit, 10 times the amount of annual income you make. You're supposed to have that much in credit, 10 times. So if you make $50,000, you should have $500,000 in credit. How could that not be possible? Well, if you make $50,000 to $75,000, doesn't a family that makes $50,000 to $75,000 have a $200,000 house? Mm-hmm. Did they pay it off? No, credit. Don't they normally have 2 cars? Yeah. Did they pay it off? No, credit. Don't they normally have 3 to 4 credit cards apiece in their pockets? Did they pay it off? No, credit. It's the 10X factor. You're using it, okay? But you're not really understanding why credit is so important. So some of us, when we get challenged credit, we walk around and say, oh, credit isn't good. You shouldn't have 47 credit cards. Well, you know, I like 47 credit cards. I really do. Some of these companies go out of business. Wachovia Bank went out of business. I had a Wachovia card. If I only depended on that one card and they went out of business and I had to swiftly run out and get new credit, you then look a little thirsty, don't you? Because you're out applying for a lot of cards, you know? So over the years, I got to where I was comfortable. 47 was a comfortable mark for me. And it's 10 times my income. My credit limits, all total together, is 10 times my income. Okay? And guess what else? And I hate to say this, but I'm going to say it. If I wanted to go across the street and buy a Porsche, with my 2 black cards, I could do it. I could leave with the title to the car. You go right behind me by the same Porsche, you leave with a green slip or a pink slip, right? Now listen to this. You run across hardship after you buy your Porsche and lose your job. You probably have 6 to 8 months of savings, but the Porsche is going to go first because your wife or your girlfriend will say, we don't need the Porsche, right? So now you got a repossession. Me, if things go sour for me, I go back to the same dealership of the Porsche and sell it back to them. I make 85 grand in my pocket. I owe the credit card 100 grand, right? If I decide that I can't pay the credit card, I still got 85,000. That's no crime, okay? But if you take the Porsche and try to sell it, you can, because you don't have title. I haven't done that. That was just a scenario, okay? It makes me feel good. All right? So these are the bonuses that you got today. You have a cease and desist letter. If there's anyone calling you that you don't want them to talk to you anymore, as far as creditors, you don't want them calling you anymore, the letter is already there, just fill in the blanks. Send it to the companies that are calling you. Share the letters with your families and friends that will get calls from collectors, all right? Once you send this cease and desist letter, every time they call you after that, it's worth $500 to $1,000.
But how do you actually collect that?
We have an attorney that does that, and I'm going to give you one of his business cards, and he's been collecting within 60 to 90 days, pro bono, $500 to $1,000 per call. So don't get mad when collection companies call you. There's a call log sheet in this pamphlet, in this packet. Write down the times they called you and take pictures of the calls in your phone. Like you take pictures of the stuff that you're going to put on Facebook and Instagram, your food that you're eating, all that. No, take a picture of the call log, okay? And then keep it from your statements. If you get up to 15 calls, he'll take your case. And that's $500 to $1,000 a call.
Per month or per day?
Per call. So if they call you 10 times in a day, that's about 5,000. Or yes, if if a collection company calls you, okay, let me give you an example that will make better sense. You got a new cell phone, but somehow all the collection companies got your new number from their skip tracing tactics. Now they're calling you on your new cell phone and you didn't give them express permission to do that. That's collection called abuse. Okay? So for each call that they call you, it's worth $500 to $1,000.
Even
Okay?
if you didn't send them that cease and desist
Even
letter?
if you didn't send them the cease and desist letter, because you got a new cell phone. How'd they get your new phone number without you giving them permission? Okay? I'm gonna give you the attorney's pamphlet. Okay? Collection call abuse. Make some money. Don't be upset. Okay? The personal information update is in your file. Because I want you guys to all update your personal information if you're going to do credit repair yourself. And you're going to gain about a 30% foothold on this issue. All right? The statute of limitations, I want you to know the law, what the statute is. Identity theft affidavit, there's one in your file. We fill them out for you, but you can have that if anyone you know has identity theft. Just complete that, get it certified, and send it to the credit bureau. The collection call law, all right? And then I'm going to give you all a copy of my book, Creating New Clients for Life. I'm going to email it to you. I only have 3 that are hard copies here. Okay, so I'll email you the actual electronic copy. Okay, these bonuses are worth about $875. Okay, now, my knowledge, my education over the years, 10.5 years of standing in this place, learning this through and through. It's worth about $75,000. If you were to take what I have in my mind and I was to transfer it to you, it would be about $75,000. Okay? The program now is $2,400. Okay? I'm not offering or, trying to get you guys to buy. I'm just telling you. The program now is going to be $1,200. Okay? I could have made it disappear and flash on the screen, but it's just right in your face. Okay? I can do all kinds of things with this this PowerPoint, but I rather have it right in the face. Okay, so $1,247 for the 4 months of service that we offer everyone, where they're seeing between 90 and 250 point increase and 50 and 90% deletion. You heard them say it, I didn't say it. You heard the client say it, right, in those videos. Okay, all right. That concludes the workshop.